Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this book review for 6 Ripley Avenue, Noelle Holten takes a different direction. She leaves the Maggie Jameson series a little bit to write the standalone mystery thriller. Maggie Jameson series, I'm going to try to see if I can remember all of them. Dead Mercy, Dead Inside, Dead Silent, I think. Okay. Anyway, great series, all 5 stars, and now we have 6 Ripley Avenue. And like I said, she's taken a departure from that Maggie Jameson series. So, what is this one about? Well, 6 Ripley Avenue takes place where Jeanette McKay, or is it Macy? Let's look at her last name. Jeanette Macy is a senior probation officer, and she's working at a place that's called Ripley House Approval Premises. The Crown Protection Services in the UK, or the CPS, has several ex-cons, as we call them here in the United States, who are residing at a probation hostel. And for those of us in the US, that would be kind of like a halfway house. Well, our senior probation officer, Jeanette, works at the halfway house, and she has a staff which includes other probation officers, a gardener, cooks, volunteers even. And then there are the prisoners who live there. Well, she gets a call that there was a death at Ripley House. What was it? Well, it was a murder. Yes, I think the man's name was Daniel Wells, who was killed. And now Danny Wells was killed, and now the police want to know who murdered Danny Wells. So who is your source of suspects? Is it one of the other ex-cons there at the hostel? Is it one of the staff? And depending on who it was, obviously we want to know what the reason behind, what the motive behind the murder was. So the police start to investigate. As the police are investigating, something else is going on, and we have some parallel things going on. We have an investigative journalist, and her name is Sloan Armstrong, and she is digging deep into the Ripley House. And she is an investigative journalist whose chief focus is crime. So when she gets wind of this murder, she wants a byline in her paper or her station, wherever she does her news, and she gets to her editor and says, I've got a hot story for you. Well, she's got to put facts behind that story, so she wants to get behind whoever killed Danny Wells. Now, while we have the police looking for the murderer, Jeanette trying to keep everything calm at Ripley House, Sloan stirring the pot trying to get behind what's going on, we have 2 other characters that are of note. One is another character who keeps sticking her neck in, kind of has her own reasons for what she's doing. But we also have, and all of that is in third-person point of view. But then we also have first-person point of view in not alternating chapters, but several chapters throughout. Who is that first-person point of view? All those chapters are called Killer. So you have Sloan, you have Jeanette, you have that other character who's sticking her neck in there, or her nose in there, I should say. And then you have the killer's point of view. But what you don't have is the motive. And that's what you're going to find when you're reading this book. You're going to be looking for that motive. And you're also going to be sitting on the edge of your seat because you're like, that somebody associated with Ripley House committed that murder. And then you have people who are not the police, who want to not so much solve it, but find out really what happened. And then you have people with ulterior motives. And then you have the killer giving you his or her opinion throughout, like to make it clear that this was no accident, this was intentional, and had an end game. What is that end game? Well, the only way you're going to find out is if you read 6 Ripley Avenue by Noelle Holten. So, when you see this video, it will be released. It's releasing September 27th. Today is the 26th. Yes, I did have to look over there at my calendar. And let me tell you, this book is good. This was a one-sitting read, okay? And there was a couple of points where I felt kind of sad, but I loved this book. And one of the reasons I love this book is because I love the setting. I think it was Worcestershire in the UK, a fictional place. But when you have an author who writes what they know, like Noelle Holten was a probation officer for 18 years. So when she writes from the POV of Jeanette, the senior probation officer, Ms. Holten is writing exactly what she knows. And I love learning the differences between, say, a hostel versus a halfway house, or a probation officer in the U.S. versus a parole officer in the U.S. compared to a probation officer in the U.K. There are some subtle differences, and you might find out what those differences are when you read this book. So if you want good readability, you want good drama, you want good mystery, you want strong characters, you want a compelling storyline, and you want an incredible ending, then this is the book that you want to read. It is 6 Ripley Avenue by Noelle Holten. Now, I did check earlier. You can get it on Amazon US or Amazon UK. I know on Amazon in US it's $2.99, but you'll just have to check the Amazon UK. I'll try to put the links for both Amazons in my description below if I can remember it. But there you have it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.